The city of Oceanside is ramping up its enforcement efforts against illegal sidewalk vending. Council members voted unanimously last week to implement an additional layer of enforcement to their existing regulations. CBS 8's Esmeralda Perez spoke to a council member there to learn more about this update and what it entails.
Well, it's an expansion to an existing ordinance, a stricter crackdown on unlicensed street vendors in Oceanside. The updated rules will give code enforcement officers the authority to confiscate equipment after certain violations. The city of Oceanside is adding an extra layer of enforcement to ensure vendors follow the rules when selling on the streets. I spoke with District 2 Council member Rick Robinson about the updated ordinance.
We don't want anybody to get an illness, or many people to get ill because of improperly stored food and things like that.
To legally operate as a sidewalk vendor in Oceanside, there are some requirements. A vendor must have a business license, a signed vendor agreement, and if selling or handling food, a county health permit. Now the city is taking things a step further. Staff recommended stronger enforcement measures, which would allow code enforcement to confiscate equipment from violators.
That staff had come to us saying that their difficulty they were having in enforcing the rules was that for those serial offenders that would not follow the rules or heed the enforcement actions that were being taken.
Examples of violations that could lead to equipment being confiscated include abandonment, improper operation, health or safety risk, or vending without a valid permit. Vendors will have to go through a process to retrieve their confiscated equipment, including paying a fee.
That's rough, but I guess if you're being warned and you've been told, then you know what the repercussions are.
Carly Haynes now lives in Escondido, but grew up in Oceanside and visits often. She understands vendors are trying to make a living, but she doesn't buy their products.
I personally don't go to them because I am concerned with the health factor. I don't know how things are preserved and sanitation, stuff like that. But I'm sure that tourists and everybody want to come and have a taste of Oceanside, and it's more authentic.
Meanwhile, Robinson tells me the city council wants to ensure public safety, make sure health department rules are followed, and ensure vendors are setting up in safe locations.
We're not trying to be mean. We're not trying to be restrictive to individuals. We just want to look out for the greater good here in our city, ensure that all of our folks are safe, that our businesses are operating safely, and that we follow the rules.
The updated ordinance will go before the council for a final reading, which is expected to happen next month before it can go into effect. In Oceanside, I'm Esmeralda Perez, CBS 8.